there was a small village on the edge of a river. Life in the village was busy. There were people growing food and people teaching the children to make blankets and people making meals. One day, a villager took a break from harvesting food and noticed a baby floating down the river towards the village. She couldn't believe her eyes. She heard crying in the distance and looked downstream to see that 2 babies had already floated by the village. She looked around at the other villagers working nearby. Does anyone else see that baby? One villager heard the woman and continued working. Yeah, I saw him, yelled a man who had been making soup. This is terrible, the woman said, who had been building a campfire, and shouted, look, there are even more upstream. Indeed, there were 3 more babies coming down the river. How long have these babies been floating by? Asked another villager. No one knew for sure, but some people thought they might have seen something in the river earlier. They were busy at the time and did not have time to investigate. Whoa. They quickly organized themselves to rescue the babies. Watchtowers were built on both sides of the shore, and swimmers were coordinated to maintain shifts of rescue teams that maintained 24-hour surveillance of the river. Zip lines with baskets attached were stretched across the river to get even more babies to safety quickly. The number of babies floating down the river only seemed to increase. The village built orphanages, and they taught even more children how to make blankets, and they increased the amount of food they grew to keep the babies housed, warm, and fed. Life in the village carried on. Then one day at a meeting of the village council, a villager asked, but where are all these babies coming from? No one knows, said another villager. But I say we organize a team to go upstream and find out who's throwing these babies in the river. Not everyone was in agreement. We need people to help us pull the babies out of the river, said one villager. That's right, said another villager. And who will be here to cook for them and look after them if a bunch of people go upstream? The council chose to let the village decide. If you were a villager, what would your vote be? Would you send a team upstream? So turn to the person next to you and make a decision about whether or not you would go up and save the babies. Okay. All right. What do you think? Are things good as they are and we got a good system going, or are we going up to investigate? Ooh. Okay. Okay. I hear lots of different things. Does somebody want to share? Yeah, back in the back, the black shirt. Yeah. You hope, right? Yeah. Hopefully, you can look at the root cause of what's going on. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Also, you don't need everyone in the village. You just need at least one person to find out what's going on.
Okay. All right. Sharing your resources. Yeah.
Figure out what's causing the problem and fix that, then end the problem. Instead of like you keep saving babies, then at the end the village wouldn't be able to support all the children. Why everyone just start with that? So you need to figure it out.
Well said. Okay. All right. So this is something that we use in our office. This is something that I really like, that I think really illustrates kind of the process of social change, and I think really is your launch pad to get started. If you are interested in something, or if you just generally care about something or about being a citizen, I think this is kind of a good visual to be your place to start. So this is called the Active Citizenship Continuum, and it starts, you can see it's pretty clear, 4 parts. Starts with member, not concerned with his or her role in social problems. Was there anybody in that story that was kind of filling that member role? Yeah, the person who just watched the baby float down the stream and was like, hey, that was weird, right? Yeah. Yep. How about volunteer? Somebody who's well-intentioned but maybe not fully educated? Yeah. Right. She identified the problem and was like, ooh, we should do something. I'm not really sure how to handle this though, right? How about conscientious citizen? The what? Yeah, the person who asked why, who even brought this question to the village, right? They're really starting to get into well, this is definitely weird, and even though the village may be benefiting from this, maybe we should send somebody up to investigate. And then I think all of you, or at least the majority of you who loudly shouted at the end that you were going to go up there, you're active citizens. You're there. You're making the moves to go up and discover. You've identified there's maybe a root cause that you should be investigating, and you're going to go up and discover what the heck is going on. And for whatever end goal that might bring, right? And so I think I would encourage you, now that you are here, you are Longhorns, you are living by this core purpose of transforming lives of yourself, of others for the benefit of society, to be active citizens and just to pay attention, to know what's going on around you. There are very sort of wicked problems that exist in the world, societally. If you apply the parable of that story, you apply it maybe to homelessness, the idea of homelessness. There are definitely situations where you have probably walked by a homeless person and not interacted with them or not thought that much about it. I think we all do it, and there are definitely areas where you can be, areas where you can be an active citizen in one area of your life and just be a member in another area. And I would encourage you as you move through UT and you get to know Austin, that you make every effort to invest yourself in this city that's giving you a lot, and to be that active citizen. So I just want to leave you with, we're going to go beyond that. Oh, wait, hang on. JK. I'm going to leave you with GivePulse here. So how many of you have created an account in GivePulse? Yeah, good for you. Good work, team. Okay. So this is how you create an account if you don't have one already. And if you go to GivePulse and this is going to test this little search feature here. But if you go to UT Austin, well, okay. So here we go. This is our main page for the University of Texas at Austin right here. And this is your best place to go to get started, to volunteer. I know that you're all going to be volunteering at least 10 hours this semester. And if you go to volunteerut.org, then it will take you directly to this page. And at any given moment, there's between 200 and 300 volunteer opportunities that are listed here. You can just scroll through and see if anything looks good to you. There are things that are happening definitely every weekend, but definitely every day of the week. If you look at the calendar view, there's always something going on that you can volunteer at. So this should be a really easy place for you to start. Volunteering is one of the things that helped me get to know Austin. It's one of the reasons I still live in Austin. You get to see parts of the city that you probably would never interact with otherwise. Austin has been a historically really segregated city, and one that has historically kept resources away from communities that it didn't want to support, generally affecting people of color. And so there are definitely areas of this city that are food deserts that lack resources, and that is changing all the time as more and more people move here. So there's a lot of things going on in this city that are really interesting, that are really a little bit heartbreaking, and a lot of areas where you can be involved also. So I would say this is a great place to start, and anytime that you want to come to our office, we are right across the street in the Student Services Building. Whoa, I have to go through all of that again. This basically is talking about how awesome Longhorns are and how many volunteer hours they give. There are a lot of things that Longhorns do in the community that we're really proud of. But this right here is how to get a hold of us, follow us. You can come and talk to me. You can come and talk to anyone in our office. And I really encourage you to get started now and to make it part of your life as a Longhorn in the future. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Amory. Fantastic. Yeah, let's give her another round of applause. So please, yes, if you need to, visit the LCAE office, and there's also a contact information on the GivePulse main page. One important note about GivePulse: in order for me to see your hours to count them toward ULN, you must share them with the Texas 20 ULN group in GivePulse. So don't forget that one extra step. It's listed. We have a page on our Canvas homepage for GivePulse. There's a help document. What do you call it? FAQ or manual on how to GivePulse. And I'll put a reminder out there that you need to share with everything with Texas 20. So don't forget that part. So utilize your peer group meeting this week when you think about a social cause you want to get invested in. Amory has one more thing.
Yeah, I just want to let you know that as you all are joining GivePulse and you are joining the UT20 group in ULN, there are groups. GivePulse works just like Facebook, so you just join the UT20 group, and that will put all of your hours into that group. If you have questions about that, please always come to our office also. If you're in the SSB or you're near it, there are a lot of you, and so we can help to share that burden, instead of having John work with all of you individually, which I know he would love to do, but that may not be possible. You can always come to our office. We have 10 ULN interns that have been through this before, and they love talking about this stuff, as well as a lot of other staff members who are willing to help you. So please come by or email us and reach out to us if you need help.
Thank you, Amory. Remember, make it meaningful. Have a good night. Good luck in your coming test.